The Territorial Cup will stay in Tempe for another year. ASU knocks off U of A 58-21 at Sun Devil Stadium. It's Chris Karpman, ASUDevils.com. I'm Jared Cohen of Sports360AZ.com. And Chris, Marion Grice was the big story throughout the week, whether or not he'd play. The injury looks a lot more serious than people were talking about, on crutches during the game. It would be interesting to see how the team would adjust without Grice, who's been such a big factor for this team all year, but they did not miss a beat in this game.
Yeah, DJ Foster showed that he really is the four-star recruit that everybody expected. Obviously, ASU has been accustomed to using him in the slot so they can get both Grice and Foster on the field together. Tonight he had 20 carries, 100 and some odd yards, 2 touchdowns. They ran a little bit different scheme offensively. DJ Foster's more of a hit-the-gap guy, so they run what they call an inside G type of a scheme, some more counters and things like that. But I thought he was more spry than he had been in earlier games. I think he was a little bit quicker, a little more explosive. He broke some tackles, which we really hadn't seen. Maybe it was just the fact that he got into a rhythm or what have you. But between him and then Demarie Nelson, who was excellent in a Mr. Versatility, special teams, he can come on defense, he can play the 3-back, and he broke a bunch of tackles. He also had 2 touchdowns. They really didn't miss a beat, as you said.
So there was a point, though, ASU was up 27-0, but there was a point in the third quarter they were up 30-14, and the Wildcats had the ball and were driving. They could have made it a one-possession game, but then Demarius Randall reads B.J. Danker like a book and picks him off, returns it for 6. That was kind of the turning point in the game. That kind of was the dagger, if you could say.
I totally agree. It was after a timeout. They had inside-out coverage, and he just broke on the ball. Randall did, and took it to the house. He'd been kind of waiting for that. This is a guy who led the nation in interceptions as a junior college player last year, and he just keeps getting better and better and more comfortable. He's a guy they didn't have against Stanford the first time around, so getting him in the championship game will be a big deal.
Now we knew what was on the line for this one. ASU wins. They get to host the Pac-12 championship game here at Sun Devil Stadium next week, and they face Stanford, the team that really exposed them earlier in the season. They did make it a little bit of a game in the fourth quarter, but that game was dominated by Stanford, and ASU will get another crack at them next week for a shot at the Rose Bowl.
Right. Todd Graham talked after this game about the difference in playing that game at home versus on the road, with obviously Stanford and Oregon both losing in recent weeks. And I think he's right. ASU at home has been a team that scored 50 points or more against 4 Pac-12 teams. They're just a lot better, and it's a more cohesive team. And I really think that they have good balance. Offense and defense are both kind of hitting on all cylinders. Both are top 25 in the country. Stanford's such a physical team. They're just going to pound the rock. ASU's linebackers are going to have to do a really good job, especially Salamo Fizo. Earlier in the season, it was Stephon Martin they were trying to rely on at that Sam position. So they've upgraded there. They've upgraded with Demarius Randall at safety. Their inside run has been better. Kadeem Carey's performance tonight maybe notwithstanding, but I think it's going to be a really good game shaping up in the Pac-12 championship.
That's Chris Karpman, ASUDevils.com. I'm Jared Cohen. It'll be Stanford and ASU for a shot at the Rose Bowl at 5:45 kickoff here at Sun Devil Stadium next week.